Hi, I'm Richard, and over the last 10 years, I've helped hundreds of students like you to apply to top postgraduate programs, such as those at UCL. Now, UCL's overall acceptance rate for postgraduates is 38%, fairly high given it's a top 5 UK university. But for the most competitive courses like MSc Finance, that halves down to just 16%. But at the Profs, as professional university consultants and ex-admissions professionals, we have a whopping 94% success with UCL courses. We can really help students to make the difference. And today, we're going to go through my 5 top tips to help you to get into UCL. Now, my first tip specific to UCL is to not use their own text box. Now, let me explain. UCL have an online portal like most universities. They have a text box which you can submit instead of a personal statement. This limits you to just 3,000 characters, including spaces. Do not use it. I've seen what it looks like on the other side, and it's unformatted text, which is really frustrating for the reader to read and will harm your chances of being accepted. Instead, on the next screen, you can simply upload your own PDF document with nice formatting and up to 2 pages, although they do say they prefer 1 page. About 800 words seems to be the sweet spot that maximizes chance of success for UCL. Now, my second tip is that your first reference matters far more than the second. In fact, UCL won't look at the application that you've crafted, your personal statement and the rest, until they've looked at that first reference. Meaning if you have 2 referees, one that really likes you and is rooting for you, and one that's just going to write what your grades were and doesn't really remember you, if that second weaker reference is the first thing they read, they might reject you before ever seeing the good reference or your application. You would be falling at a level 1 rejection, the first hurdle. Don't let that happen. Instead, coordinate with your referees, and if one is much stronger, make sure that they submit first. The second reference will only be looked at after they've decided whether or not to make you an offer. Now, tips like this are really important to understand the insider information of how decisions are made and the sorts of landmines that can blow up an application that we want to help you to avoid. If you're looking to work with a professional consultant such as myself or one of the 1,000 expert tutors in my network, please do contact us using information in the description below. Tip number 3 for UCL is to have some specific university research. Now, one of the advantages of UCL and why I recommend almost everybody applying to the UK applies to UCL is that their application process is a simple personal statement, meaning yes, you can adapt your LSE, your King's College London, or other personal statements very easily. However, UCL know this and they're looking out for it. If you don't put some specific university research in, they are going to reject you as too generic. If it's too obvious that you've copy and pasted, I want to apply to LSE because, delete, I want to apply to UCL because, and that's all you've changed in your statement, they are not going to be very impressed. But we want you to be efficient. We don't want you to have to rewrite the entire statement from scratch. So here's what you do. You have a university-specific research paragraph, something you can only have at postgraduate level, because for undergraduate level in the UK, you have to replicate the same personal statement for all applications and universities and courses. So here we use this to our advantage to stand out from other candidates who may not have made the jump from undergraduate to postgraduate understanding. We go and research the department, you pick your electives, the societies, you look at the unique opportunities that UCL has that no one else has, and you stick them all in a paragraph. If you can put one of those key points into the opening paragraph, you're really signaling this is a university that I've thought of, and this is a statement I've written just for you, even though it's not. Now, building on from tip number 3, tip number 4 is to name drop someone from the university. I'm a big believer for UCL of go with the open days. They put a lot of time in the open days. If you meet someone, an academic or an admissions officer, and you talk about how they inspired you, name drop what you learned and who you met in the application, potentially even in the first paragraph. This signals that you're invested in the process. Online virtual days are fine, as well as in person. You don't have to fly to London for these open days. But by name dropping, it shows that you're good at networking. And if you're good at networking, you're probably quite good at networking for a job, meaning you're likely to increase their employment statistics as well. Now, my final tip is specifics get you in. Don't just say, I want to be an investment banker. Talk about the specific desk that you are going to work on. The same applies for medicine. The same applies for your business degree. The same applies if you're studying history or classics. What specifically are you going to do? What does your career path look like in the next 5 years? What sort of specific companies and roles are available to you? When you mention your work experience or any internships that you've done, be specific. What was achieved? UCL love to see numbers, percentages, currencies, even brand names you've worked with, and you should be looking to have a specific on every single line of your statement in order to make it stand out. Now, that's all we've got time for today. Hopefully those 5 tips are helpful to increase your chances. And if you want to boost it to get that 94% success rate that our students enjoy, please do contact us using the information on the description below. Lastly, please do like and subscribe. And I try to get back to every single comment. So do ask us if you have any budding questions about your application to UCL. Most importantly, from me and all the team, good luck.